to this school?
I used to, sir.
What the?
Of mental illness, sir.
Put your foot down!
Hey, put the knife on me!
Let's go!
Gunfire erupts. Officers take cover. A suspect refuses to surrender, and in the next moment, chaos unfolds.
Put your hands! He's over here, stay down.
Okay, he's down. Hold on, stand.
Hey, stay here!
Stop! Stop!
Stay!
Some situations leave no room for second chances. Moments when officers responded to an active shooter situation. Before moving on to our first case, make sure you're subscribed to BODYCAM REVEAL. On the 6th of January 2023, Arizona police officers shot 31-year-old Kenneth Hearne, who was accused of a sexual assault that happened in October 2022.
It's got some police on the search warrant! Open the front door!
But this wasn't just a routine arrest. Tension filled the air as officers closed in.
Police, I'm ordering you to do so. We have a search warrant. Come to the front door.
BODYCAM footage shows that as officers arrived at the suspect's location, they immediately took a woman and a child out of the house to safety with guns drawn.
Okay. Okay.
They called out to the suspect, ordering him to surrender. The tense moment had begun, but little did he know his life would pay for what he had done. He hesitated when officers arrived with his arrest warrant and ordered him to surrender.
Hey, don't shoot me. We won't shoot you. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Please don't shoot me. Come out with your hands up.
He thought that by pleading and saying fearful words, he could trick the officers into lowering their guns. But that wasn't going to happen.
Out with your hands up and empty. Face away from me.
Just as officers sent a drone into the apartment, Hearne opened fire. In an instant, a bullet struck one of the officers, capturing the intense moment on BODYCAM footage.
Let me see. Where am I hit? Let me see.
He thought he could outsmart the officers, but his actions only made things worse. Another officer immediately fired at Hearne, but he managed to escape from the second story. The next day in Tempe, officers surround Hearne.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up right now! Put your hands up!
But once again, instead of surrendering, he made a fatal mistake, one that would cost him his life. He reached for a weapon, forcing an officer to react in a split second. Gunfire rang out, and Hearne collapsed to the ground. The manhunt for Hearne came to a tragic end the following day when Phoenix police located the suspect in Tempe. With that being said, let's move on to our second case. In January 18th, 2023 at 9 a.m., gunfire erupted at the planned Public Safety Training Center in Atlanta. Officers had been clearing the area where activists had set camp to protest the construction. What was supposed to be a routine sweep had turned into a deadly encounter. BODYCAM footage shows officers searching and clearing the protest campsite at the planned Public Safety Training Center in Atlanta. They confirm that the tents are unoccupied, meaning no one is inside.
Occupied.
Surveying a property, can you go ahead, be sure there's nothing inside, and then dismantle them as you do that?
Copy.
They also discovered gasoline and other potentially dangerous items that could be used to cause harm. But this is just the beginning of the operation. What happens next will leave you in shock. Just minutes after clearing the campsite, gunfire echoed from a nearby distance. Officers quickly reacted, securing their equipment and ensuring someone was left to guard the machines. As they moved cautiously toward a nearby tent, confusion spread among them, unsure of where the shots were coming from. In an instant, the situation escalated, and the danger was now all around them. As gunfire echoed through the area, officers were ordered to turn on their body cameras, ensuring every moment was recorded. With heightened tension, they cautiously advanced toward a nearby tent, their formation tight as warnings filled the air. Stay alert, stay online. The danger was real, and every step could mean life or death. Another urgent command, watch crossfire, gave a chilling reminder that bullets could come from any direction.
Hey, watch crossfire, guys. Crossfire, watch the crossfire. Stay online. Stay online.
Officers couldn't tell at first whether the sounds were fireworks or gunshots, but within moments it became clear that those were gunshots. Chaos erupted as radio calls confirmed the worst, that an officer was down. Urgency filled the air as officers rushed for cover, knowing the situation had just turned deadly. Officers later confirmed that Georgia State Patrol troopers exchanged gunfire with 26-year-old activist Manuel Esteban Paez Terán.
Fireworks. That was it sounded like fireworks. They were turning it up.
Who was hiding in a tent. Terán fired at least one shot, hitting a trooper in the pelvic area, but the bulletproof vest likely saved his life. After the shooting, officers rushed to get the injured trooper to safety while securing the tent. Officers can be heard on body camera footage giving multiple warnings before taking action.
Police department with a less lethal agent that will be administered into the tent if you do not come out with your hands up.
They first asked Terán to surrender, announcing themselves as Atlanta police. When there is no response, they warn that a non-lethal agent will be deployed into the tent if he does not come out with his hands up. Despite the repeated warnings, there is still no movement from inside. The tension rises as officers prepare to act, knowing that any wrong move could turn deadly. Seconds later, they fire multiple non-lethal rounds into the tent. Hoping to force a surrender. Body cam footage shows officers coughing as they approach the tent, likely due to the effects of the pepper ball agent they had just deployed. Despite the discomfort, they move forward cautiously, ready for whatever they might find inside. What they found was the expected end of this operation. Officers later found Terán dead just outside his tent. A spokesperson for his family revealed that a private autopsy determined he had been shot 13 times. The operation had ended, but controversy was only beginning. Moving on to our third case for the video, but before that, make sure you're subscribed to BODYCAM REVEAL. On the 6th of June 2023, 36-year-old Brian Simonton a Utah man, was killed in a police shootout after his ex-wife called 911, claiming he was violating a protective order against her.
Ex-husband has, I'm just going to say, I do have a protective order on him.
It all started on June 6 when dispatch received a distressing 911 call from a woman reporting that her ex-husband, again, Brian Simonton, was violating a protective order. She expressed concern for his well-being, noting he had hit rock bottom and was trying to leave his sick dog with her, refusing to leave otherwise.
Ex-husband has, I'm just going to say, I do have a protective order on him. So he has just kind of showed up unannounced, and I know he's like hit rock bottom. I feel bad for him, but I cannot have him here.
The woman also warned dispatch that Simonton was known to carry weapons, including a gun, and had made suicidal threats in the past. Fearing how the situation might unfold, she requested immediate police assistance.
To leave unless I take the dog. I've asked to leave. At this point, I need to have an officer come and let him know that he's trespassing, and then I also need to have an officer take this dog somewhere where he can be taken.
The situation escalated as again another caller reported that Simonton was yelling aggressively at people near the apartment complex. The caller informed dispatch that Brian was standing in front of the building and refusing to leave despite a protective order against him.
Yeah, we have a gentleman here that needs to be removed from the property, known to have guns. He's yelling at me right now.
So where is he at the apartment?
He's in front of building 1 next to the dog park.
Tensions rose as Brian shouted threats, daring someone to confront him. Again, Brian's ex-wife urgently told dispatch he was threatening people. Panicked, she asked if he was shooting before pleading for officers to arrive immediately. Body cam footage captures the intense moment when the officer arrives and immediately spots Brian holding a gun.
Step it up, he just pulled a gun. All units. He's got a gun in his right hand. This is 7-4.
Drop the weapon now! Drop the weapon!
Officer repeatedly orders him to drop the weapon, but Brian moves closer, escalating the danger. He can be seen pointing the gun at the officer, threatening everyone around him. His actions show a complete disregard for his safety and the safety of others, and will soon turn a tense situation into a deadly confrontation.
Drop the weapon now! Drop the weapon! Drop the weapon!
He's pointing the firearm at me. Step it up.
After a few minutes, when Brian refused to comply with the officer's commands, a shot rang out. His reckless actions had pushed the situation to a breaking point, leaving officers with no choice but to respond with force. Another body cam footage from a different officer shows just how tense the situation was. With Brian refusing to back down and still holding the gun, officers had no choice but to open fire, ending the threat before anyone else got hurt.
Drop it down! Get back, get back! Hey.
The first officer on the scene was injured during the shootout, adding to the chaos. Despite being wounded, officers continued to contain the threat while ensuring the safety of those nearby. While some officers rushed to help the injured officer, the gunfire continued, forcing others to stay engaged in the shootout to neutralize the threat. The situation grew even more intense as Brian refused to back down.
Watch the crossfire! Over here! Over here! He has the gun still! Show his hands on the gun! Show your hands! Show your hands!
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
Brian was declared dead at the scene. He had a history of domestic violence and was under 2 protective orders at the time. Investigators discovered a long Colt revolver near his body, and security footage showed him trying to reload it. The wounded officer was taken to the hospital for surgery and has since recovered, thankfully, as 8 officers discharged their weapons during the confrontation, showing how difficult it was to handle the suspect. With that being said, let's move on to our 4th case. On August 24th, 2023, an off-duty officer spotted 29-year-old Jason Bowles acting suspiciously and called 911. Whatever was about to happen, it wasn't going to end peacefully. Security footage captures 29-year-old Bowles wandering through a neighborhood before approaching a house.
No. Huh? I don't have anything. Go. Huh? You go.
His actions raise suspicion as he lingers near the property. Jason is later seen on camera pulling a sweatshirt and a gun from a trash can. Moments later, both 911 recordings and security footage capture what happens next as he moves toward the house. Jason is seen approaching the officer's house with a gun in his hand.
It's Jason Bowles. Sorry.
However, in another security camera angle, he can be heard telling the officer, "I have nothing in my hand."
No. Huh? I don't have anything. Go. Huh? You go.
He ordered to leave. As the off-duty officer drives away, Jason is seen pointing the gun in his direction, escalating the situation further.
Happened. Huh? No. Huh? I don't have anything. Go. Huh? You go.
Later, Bakersfield police arrived, and another confrontation took place, leading to a second officer involved shooting. Jason was fatally shot, while a Bakersfield officer was injured but survived. Let's move on to our 5th case, where cops respond to an active shooter situation. The problem is, once we make an arrest, there's always somebody else to come in and set up the shop. We are there, guys, got eyes on. Dallas police raided a drug house for the 9th time, finally catching Demarcus Edward, Galtines Crittendon, and another suspect in the act. This time there was no escape. Let's dive into this intense operation.
Nice! A little farther, bro. A little more. Hey, good, you're good, you're good!
The officers can be heard saying that they had raided this house 8 times before. Each time they arrested drug dealers, yet somehow the place kept getting used for illegal activities again and again. No matter how many operations they carried out, the problem never seemed to end.
We've had a total of 8 operations on this house.
Step back, forward.
But do the officers still have the same energy to face it once more? Do you see how the officers move in with full force? They break windows, smash through the door, and surround the house from all sides, making sure no one can escape. They successfully caught 3 suspects who rushed to escape. One of them even tries hiding under a bed, but his brightly colored shoes give him away instantly. Meanwhile, the search continues. What else might they uncover inside? Later, officers discovered drugs, illegal weapons, and cash inside the house.
This is the 9th time we've hit this place. You know, if they come back, the neighbors will call narcotics will call us, and we'll do it all over again.
All 3 suspects were taken to jail. All 3 suspects have been charged with dealing crack cocaine. The suspects, known for their repeated offenses, now face serious charges that could keep them behind bars for a long time. Moving on to our last case for the video, but before that, make sure to subscribe to BODYCAM REVEAL. On April 20th, 2018, Sky Bouche, a 19-year-old former student, entered Forest High School in Ocala, Florida, armed with a sawed-off shotgun concealed in a guitar case. No one knew that inside was something deadly, something that would shatter the morning calm in an instant. CCTV footage shows Bouche entering the stairwell of Forest High School with a blue backpack and a black guitar case. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but what's inside will leave you in shock. Bodycam footage captures the tense moment as an officer arrives at the Ocala school, spotting the injured 17-year-old victim being loaded onto a stretcher.
Who was that?
996 Burn. 996 Burn, I think it was a signal 35.
Moments later, Bouche had entered the restroom, armed and prepared for violence. He then fired a shot into the door of classroom 212, striking the student in the ankle and sending the school into chaos. After that, the suspect stopped firing and placed his weapon down. He then walked down the hallway toward another classroom. Later, officers found him inside a computer room, where he immediately surrendered upon seeing the cop. During the investigation, a female teacher identified Bouche as the shooter, but that wasn't enough. Officers quickly evacuated the hall, and soon they received information about a possible second suspect.
They're saying he's a shooter. Did anyone see him? Do you go to this school?
I used to, sir.
What the?
Mental illness, sir.
Alright, go. Out. Everyone out. Hey, keep them right there. 996 Burn. I got one in custody. He's saying he's the shooter.
Another officer who had just arrived on the scene took command and immediately began searching for the other suspect.
Bro, I need to go. What building?
If someone... Hold on just one. Go secure the gun for now.
Where's that?
It's in the hallway. Secure. There's another one in the restroom.
I said the gun's in front of me.
Who was reportedly armed. The suspect mumbled something after surrendering, but his words made little sense. It was as if he was trying to justify his actions, but nothing he said could explain what had just happened. The suspect's words were scattered, almost as if he'd disconnected from the gravity of what just happened.
You go to this school?
I used to, sir.
What the?
Mental illness, sir.
Alright, go. Out. Everyone out. Hey, keep them right there. 996 Burn. I got one in custody. He's saying he's the shooter.
When asked how he got into the school with a shotgun, his casual response, "I just carried it up here."
How did you get up here with a shotgun? You just carried it up here?
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Right here. Is there anybody else with you?
No, sir. I'm the only one.
You're the only one?
Yes, sir.
Is chilling. No panic, no remorse, just a simple admission. Meanwhile, officers secured his car in the parking lot, marked with pink duct tape, as they continued their investigation. Officers later asked him if he had a partner, but he insisted he did it alone. As for the 17-year-old victim who was shot in the ankle, the suspect claimed there was no connection between them. It was completely random.
I'm telling you everything I know.
The kid you shot, was he a random kid or something?
I shot through the door. I didn't know the gun would even work. I just wanted to scare people. I didn't even know this.
You know that doesn't make any sense, right?
Well, yeah.
What sense does that make to you?
It's hard to understand if you haven't gone through mental illness or growing up in violence.
So you got... okay.
Not saying that this excuse...
Do you have a mental disorder?
Everyone in my family's either bipolar or schizophrenic.
The suspect's words become even more unsettling as he talks about his mental state. When asked if he has any disorders, he mentions that his friends think he might be bipolar or schizophrenic. However, he says the hospital once evaluated him and found nothing wrong. Then, almost emotionless, he admits sometimes he just feels nothing at all, like nothing matters.
It's hard to understand if you haven't gone through mental illness.
So you got,
I'm not saying that this excuse.
do you have a mental disorder?
Everyone in my family's either bipolar or schizophrenic.
Okay, are you bipolar or schizophrenic?
I've been to a mental hospital once and they told me I was fine. They just medicated me. Anxiety meds, and that was it. They said I was good.
Do you feel good?
No, sir. All right.
So you feel like you're messed up? Aside from today's events?
Well, sometimes, I just don't feel anything. It's hard to describe because no one believes me.
Sky Bouche faced multiple charges following the April 20th, 2018 shooting at Forest High School in Ocala, Florida. He was charged with terrorism, aggravated assault with a firearm, possession of a firearm on school property, discharging a firearm on school grounds, and attempted murder. The charges were filed after Bouche fired a shotgun into a classroom door, injuring a 17-year-old student in the ankle. Eventually, the suspect is in custody, but the intensity of the standoff is something officers won't soon forget. These moments show just how fast things can turn, life or death. Let us know if you have ever witnessed such a confrontation. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like the video. Comment below which case you find the most horrifying. Don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.